All right, you guys. This your boy back at y'all with another one. Shouts out to the Lions Den basketball community. Give the video a like, hit subscribe, ring the bell whenever I go live. That way you get those notifications. Also subscribe to the Patreon. Let's talk about this. Let's get down to business. So the NBA is reviewing the incident to where James Harden was spotted at a public gathering without a mask, right? Now, if you remember earlier this summer, where both James Harden and Russell Westbrook didn't make the team plane to the bubble, they end up coming later on, but they didn't necessarily say why James Harden and Russell Westbrook didn't make it to the bubble, right? Well, it turns out that James Harden had tested positive for the COVID-19. Now, I speculated this, but since we didn't have anything proven at the time, you couldn't really say. But this report coming out about James Harden testing positive for the COVID-19, and then you're still at a gathering with no mask on? Really? This is what it's become now? We're just gonna be reckless now? What's up, Cole the Jester? What's up, Stephanie? Omega Red? What's going on with y'all? Salute to y'all. Appreciate y'all for being in the chat. This is what it's come down to now, James Harden. We're just gonna be reckless about our lives now, right? And as a result of this reckless behavior, the NBA has decided to shut down James Harden. Now, that's the thing. And I keep saying this, right? What's up, Omega Red? Mike G, salute to y'all. This dude, at this point, ain't about a grifter, okay? He pretty much got the Houston Rockets organization to do whatever they wanted. He got a whole bunch of giveaways, goodies, and guarantees, right? And that has resulted in 0 championships. It has resulted in 0 NBA Finals appearances, right? Because everything around James Harden has changed, but the one person. And obviously, that one person or that one thing that hasn't changed is James Harden. Look at the talent he had around him, right? He got Kevin McHale fired, right? And shout out to my boy 2 Raw TV, because he eloquently put that out, right? About what led to Kevin McHale being fired, what led to Dwight Howard being traded, what led to Carmelo Anthony getting kicked off the team after 10 games, what led to Chris Paul being traded, despite the fact that Daryl Morey went on the Dan Patrick show and explicitly stated that Chris Paul was not going to get traded, right? Which led to Russell Westbrook, who was traded from OKC to Houston. These two guys were teammates at OKC when James Harden was the 6th man coming off the bench, right? And due to James Harden's lack of professionalism, right? Because what's it like if you're the face of the franchise and everything being held up for you, right? While you comb your hair and stroke your beard along with your ego and all that, right? Being late to team meetings, being late to practices, being late for the team flight, being late for the team bus. Games you don't have back-to-back, you're out there in Vegas living the vida loca, right? Or, no. Not that one. Or, this the one. This is it right here. Rockstar lifestyle might not make it, right? That type of activity he had going on, right? The Houston Rockets organization gave everything and their right arm to this man, and he's giving them nothing in return but headache, stomach ache, and a massive case of indigestion. And now, since the goodies and giveaways and guarantees are stopped, right? We got a new regime coming in, right? No more D'Antoni, no more Daryl Morey, right? A new regime is in town. The goodies, giveaways, and guarantees are stopped, and now he wants to go in a big old temper tantrum about it. He wants to sit up there and call himself, get mad at teammates and throwing the ball at another teammate's head. What the fuck is wrong with this guy? What the fuck is wrong with this guy? This guy is goddamn nuts. What's up, Arquise Ross? Salute to you, man. Appreciate you for being in the chat. Yeah, man, this guy is completely insane in the membrane. He don't got, and then this is the thing. Once he gets traded, right? Because he's going to get traded, but the Houston Rockets organization ain't in no hurry to trade this guy because if y'all remember, Jimmy Butler had a similar situation to this, right? To where, you know, he got traded to the Minnesota Timberwolves from the Chicago Bulls. The difference in that situation was Jimmy Butler was on the last year of a deal. So, you know, that's the reason why Jimmy Butler acted out, because he knew at the end of the season he was going to walk if they didn't trade him, and the Minnesota Timberwolves was going to get nothing, right? So Jimmy Butler had all the leverage, which prompted the trade for him to go to Philadelphia, right? Now, Jimmy Butler saw how Joel Embiid and Ben Simmons were being coddled in the organization and whatnot. That would lead to Jimmy Butler voting for South Beach, right? In this case, James Harden has like 3 years left on this deal, right? He got to opt out after 2 years. So he don't got no leverage in this situation. The Houston Rockets like, look, man, you're more trouble than you're worth. Send him home. He can do all the partying, all the fucking McDonald's binge eating contests. You know, he can get involved in all kinds of, you know, titty parties, all that stuff. If the Houston Rockets just send him home. Just send him home, right? And then when the time comes, they'll trade him. But this is also on the Houston Rockets organization because they wanted, you know, a king's ransom for James Harden. And the dude coming to camp out of shape, right? Motherfucker looked like he was, you know, doing a real life Peggy Buddy, eating bonbons and ice cream while watching The Young and the Restless or something. Who's going to want to trade for that? Now, when he came to the bubble, this dude was, you know, he was in shape. You know, he lost a lot of weight. He came in shape. What the hell happened between leaving the bubble and now? What the hell happened? Did you get with like Adam Richmond and y'all adopted a whole new season of Man versus Food or something like that? What the hell did you do, James Harden? Straight up. Like I said, at this point, this dude is more trouble than he's worth. And, you know, and let's not forget about Mr. Blue Lives Matter. Yeah, remember that? When he went to the bubble, right? Because he came to the bubble late after catching the Covidius Maximus, right? So he went to the bubble rocking a Blue Lives Matter whatever that is, a mask. I don't know what they call it. It's like one of them little neck masks or whatever like that, right? Can't get the word out of my mouth right now. You know, it's too early in the morning. But anyway, he wore that Blue Lives Matter joint around his face, right? Now, this comes on the heels of all the protests that's been going on after the George Floyd death. So why would he run around here wearing a Blue Lives Matter thing, right? And then you run around here talking about how, oh, well, I don't want to I'm not supporting. I want to get traded because I don't want to support somebody who's a Trump supporter. Now, this is the thing, right? Now, you getting all this money, you benefited from all that. So why you bring that up now? No, this ain't got nothing to do with such being some goddamn Trump supporter. So get out of here. Get the fuck out of here with that. Okay? I know I know what it's like for somebody to try to throw some kind of smoke screen in the way of the real reason, right? You can't just run around here talking about how somebody a Trump supporter, but yet you're still taking money from them. So yeah, miss me with the dumb shit. What's up, Mr. Panther? Yeah, it was James Harden that was wearing the Blue Lives Matter on the over his face in the bubble. It wasn't Westbrook, it was James Harden. So here we got a player who clearly doesn't want to be there anymore, and you know his antics, right? Because before this year, James Harden ain't been, as far as we know, right? Far what wasn't put out in the media, right? Because we haven't heard these incidents until now. Now, just because we hadn't heard these incidents didn't mean these incidents wasn't going on. But the constant unprofessionalism, the constant disrespect, right? You got to cut bait with this guy. This guy is nothing more than a cancer. And when you have a cancer in your body, you got to get it out. When you got a cancer in your organization, you got to cut bait. You got to cut bait. You got to cut bait. What's up, Luda Ryder? And, you know, I ain't got no respect for this guy, man. I don't like this guy. You know, as much as I, you know, get on him for traveling and all that, and, you know, having, I won't say he have a limited skill set, but he only relies on two things: dribbling the air out the ball and getting to the free throw line. And, you know, traveling on his step backs. So that's three things I get on James Harden for. But this is a whole new level of low. A whole new level of low. And how can anybody give this guy any kind of power? This dude has proven he can't handle it. You want all the benefits of being the leader, but yet you don't have any qualities of a leader. You want people to show you respect, but yet you don't have enough respect to show up on time to a meeting or to the team playing or the team bus. You show up whenever you want to show up. You're like, I'll show up whenever I get ready. That's a disrespect to the people that's paying you salary you're looking for. Just doesn't make any sense to me why somebody would want all the cachet and have not earned the right to attain that kind of cachet. James Harden had done nothing to earn that right or to earn the privilege of, you know, being able to dictate when he can come to practice and being able to dictate when he can play in the game and dictate offenses and dictate player personnel moves on. That's reserved for players who won championships. That kind of privilege is for players that have delivered the goods. And he has not delivered nothing. The cupboard is bare. He's a fucking grifter. So when clowns like Stephen A. Smith run his fucking mouth talking about, well, we need to go and respect James Harden's greatness. That motherfucker ain't great. That motherfucker ain't delivering no fucking goods to be labeling him a great player. That's like I said before when they got eliminated by the Lakers. We got to be careful of who we deem as great. This dude had more choke jobs the NBA Finals appearance, but yeah, I'm supposed to sit up here and say he's a great player. That's how you know Stephen A. Smith don't know shit about basketball. He not but a fucking loudmouth, talking head, foghorn, leghorn bitch. Respect James Harden for what? He ain't done nothing to earn nobody's respect. He's done enough to earn people's disrespect, though. So yeah, miss me with the dumb shit. What's up, Monterey Moore? What's up, man? This dude disgusting, man. This dude is beyond, at this point, it's beyond repair. It's beyond repair. This is what happens when you don't deliver the goods. All these stories coming out about how this guy, James being James, and this guy done this and this guy done that, and this guy, would hold up practices, and this guy would, do this, that, and the third, and this guy, he didn't want to do this because, this guy wanted to get. We get all these stories that's coming out about this guy when you don't deliver the goods, right? If you look back at the Clippers, right, when he had expectations to win the championship and they don't win the championship, matter of fact, you don't even make it to the conference finals. And yet, we get stories about Paul George missing practices. We get stories about Kawhi Leonard wanting to play whenever he want to play, right? But this is the thing, Kawhi Leonard has earned the right because he won 2 championships in 2 different spots. He won Finals MVP in San Antonio. He won Finals MVP in Toronto. Paul George didn't earn that right to call himself, missing practice and dictate when, he was going to play and all that. Doc Rivers was in a precarious situation because he's talking about team unity, but yet teams, the individual players, was on separate agendas. So how you can preach unity when you got players on separate agendas? And then James Harden interviewing with Stephen A. Smith one day on SportsCenter, right? When he interviewed with Stephen A. Smith, he said he was committed to winning a championship. By those actions right there, how can you say you committed to winning a championship when you can't even show up on time? Or you want to live a rock star lifestyle, might not make it after practice or after games. When you're not on the back-to-back, you're going to go to Vegas and party it up, right? Come on now. Come on now. Come on. Come on. Come on. Who you think you fooling? Championships are won by doing the little things over time. The little things over time. Like for fantasy basketball, right? FanDuel and DraftKings. If you want to win a GPP, right? A guaranteed prize pool with like the prize structure is top heavy, right? You got to do the little things. That means you got to be willing to read. You got to be willing to listen. You got to be willing to put any kind of preconceived bias you have to the side and analyze the game from a market perspective, not from a data perspective, but from the market, right? Same thing, no different than doing that. So James Harden aspires to winning a championship, but yet he's showing up late to the team meetings. He's not showing up to meetings some days. Some days he's late. Some days he's late to practice. Some days, it's like on and on and on and on with this dude. What next? What next? What the fuck is next? I'm just waiting to see what next will come out about this dude. It's bad enough you caught the COVID-19 over the summer. That's why you end up late to the bubble, but yet you still running around here at public gatherings maskless? And now you're sorry. After you got outed about it, now you're sorry. Hey, but I guess better late than never. What's up, Mark Wunderlich? What's up, man? I guess the story could come better late than never, but nevertheless, this dude You got teammates in DeMarcus Cousins and John Wall ready to get themselves for the cause, right? Integrate James Harden with that cause, and he don't want nothing to do with it, right? They even talk privately at James Harden on some other shit, just like a goddamn diva. Man, you guys let me know what y'all think about this, man. You know what I'm saying? I gotta get in the stream here before I hit some dead spots, and then the signal goes everywhere, right? So I appreciate y'all for being in the chat room, man. You know what I'm saying? I probably won't be on tomorrow, you know, but I want to wish everybody a Merry Christmas. You know, we got the Coon of the Year Awards coming next week, and I'm gonna do the top 10 videos on my channel from this year. So those two videos are coming next week. All right. I appreciate everyone for being in here. Smash the like, hit the subscribe. This your boy. Scream at me. Hey!